everyone. We are witnessing unprecedented shifts in life expectancy. And while Americans are living a lot longer, are we actually financially prepared to fully retire at the age of 65 while maintaining the same standard of living? Back to help us plan for our retirement and work through all of these questions is our very good friend from Physicians Mutual, Mr. Bob Gunia.
Welcome back. We love having you here.
I love being here.
We learned so much.
Oh,
you're like an honorary part of the family, Bob. We
right.
mean that.
I like what you've done with the place.
Oh, thank you. We did it for you.
Yeah.
Now, Bob, truthfully, let's talk about this because you say you don't think we're fully prepared for retirement at 65.
Correct. In fact, we're living longer, and not just by a couple years, but we're living decades longer.
Yeah.
And so that has a significant impact on your retirement savings, how much you're going to need.
Right.
And there's been a lot of debate about just how prepared Americans are for retirement. But a study just released last October by the Stanford Center of Longevity came out and said that most Americans are going to have to work past 65 if they want to maintain the same standard of living that they're used to.
Right.
Now, they point to two factors of coming up with this analysis. The first is only about half of Americans have any money saved for retirement. They're betting on Social Security to carry them through their retirement years. And number two, it's the amount of folks that actually own their home that are not carrying a mortgage into retirement. That number is going down year after year. And so people's ability to keep that standard of living is very much at threat, and so it does require good planning.
I mean, this research is super important, so thank you for sharing it. But here's one of the things that's sort of overwhelming is that there's many different ways to approach retirement, saving for retirement. How do we even begin, to prepare for it effectively?
Yeah, just saying overwhelming gets people anxious already.
Right. And is it too late already?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we're behind already in a way.
And let's, there's so many people watching the show, and some people are very prepared for retirement. Some people need to shore up their retirement plans. Some good basic questions for all of us to consider to make sure, even beyond just the finances, that we're prepared for those golden years. Are three questions. The first is, can I retire? Which is what we've talked about in the past. It's the financial. Do I have enough money saved? What do I anticipate my income, whether I have a pension or from Social Security? And the second is, do I have to retire? Am I at a place where even if I wanted to work, my health conditions are such that I need to retire and I need to do it now. So that's a factor.
Sure.
And the third, which is just now getting a lot of research, is the psychological factors involved with retirement, which are very, very important and oftentimes overlooked.
Exactly. Last time you were here, we talked about the financial and the health. Do I have to? But we really haven't delved deeper into the psychological aspects of retirement and what that means for us and how that makes you feel. Because a lot of people don't want to retire.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, are we emotionally prepared to retire? And that question of, will we matter in retirement? And it is a very important question because even when we looked at those lists at the beginning on, for example, the financial side of things, some people are retiring and they're not financially prepared to do, but they're just tired of their job. I mean, emotionally drained. And so they're moving into retirement whether they're prepared or not. Then you have others that are fully prepared to retire, but they're very worried about, how am I going to matter? What about the social connections? What about all the things that are so important while you're working?
It's so true.
It is. It really is. I mean, these are things to definitely think about for sure. I mean, so to overcome these barriers and that indecisiveness, you say this, and I was talking to Debbie about this. I love this fact that you say visualization is so important.
Yes, develop a future picture of a joy-filled retirement. And some people think that's hokey pokey.
I don't. I really don't.
Yeah, but because you're, peak performance coaches, whether it's for athletes or business people, they're all looking for that future picture. And so the question is, well, why so important? Is this just a dream? Is a future picture same like just dreaming about what I want?
No.
It's not, because what it does is it unleashes creativity. When you can visualize, how do I get the social connections in retirement, so I feel like I matter? How do I want to live? What are some adjustments I can make to my financial planning so that I can move to retirement with confidence?
Sure. I mean, vision boards are very important. People do that for even careers. If you can see it, you can make it happen.
Yeah.
If you can't visualize it, how are you going to make it happen?
And it's important that you could even, some people might think that if I'm working past 65, it's not going to be a good experience. But if you think about finding the right job post 65 that helps you get that sense that you matter, you could create a whole future picture of incredible joy. So it doesn't have to be such a bad thing that so many Americans have to work past 65.
So basically, truly, creating a future picture will help you make better decisions in the long run.
Absolutely. And there's one factor, just to tie in some of our previous conversations that we've had on the show, is that your health outcomes in retirement are critically to have under control and planned for because they have such a big impact in terms of your financial ability. Health insurance is very important. So at Physicians Mutual, we sell an insurance that supplements Medicare. And why that's so important is you can save a lot of money during your working years, retire, then all of a sudden not have the right health coverage, and then it just eats away at that. And as we said from the beginning, people are living longer, and so you need to protect what you've saved throughout all those years.
That's the best.
Make sure
point.
you have the
sounds
right
like
one.
sounds like we should begin our visualization, kind of like right now, that future picture.
Yes.
You think we should start working on it like pretty much
Yesterday?
ASAP?
Correct.
Like what time is it?
Is it too late, Bob?
Yeah, you almost need to work on it when you start in your family.
Okay.
Young little family, get together, think about what's our future picture down the road. I think there's a picture that goes back to 1973. And this is when my parents should have began planning retirement.
Look at that smile on little Bob.
And my parents today, so that's the fruits of all that labor. The kind of important message there is, so they have smiles on their face, and they may not have done the ideal best planning. They did the best they could because you're raising families and all that. But it is important to look ahead. And the best advice I give to people today is, since we've been talking about working past 65 and we've been talking about health insurance, it's so critical to know whether or not the health insurance you have, whether through it's your employer or your spouse, is credible. So that this whole notion we talked about, and we won't get into it on this show, a Part B and enrolling in Part B, but so many seniors are getting a penalty for enrolling in Part B late because they didn't have the health coverage they need. So it's just something to have a reminder. We're going to work past 65. I need to know, do I sign up for Part B or do I have existing coverage that's in place?
Bob,
It's real important.
First, I'd like to thank you because you make such a huge positive impact on senior communities across the country. You really do. Thank you so much for that because it is super important.
Yeah. We love doing it.
You do a great job at it. Last time you were here, we talked a little bit about your cheer box, which is also making a positive impact across the country. Remind everybody what the cheer box is.
So we launched it the last time we were on Home and Family, and we had online 900 people write in formal nominations for their nursing home in their community. And so the end result is over 100 cheer boxes going out to 39 states.
Look at
it is it's packed. What's packed in there is Hallmark movies as well.
Yeah.
And it's really to give a spirit of Christmas to folks who are oftentimes overlooked. They feel alone. And no one should feel alone.
And you bring them so much joy. There are puzzles, there's books, there's Hallmark cards, there's Hallmark movies. I mean, it's
a box of
joy in a box.
It's joy in a box.
It's joy in a box.
You know what, Bob Gunia? You're joy in a box.
That's
The television
right.
box sitting
Every
in people's
time you're
houses right
here.
now. We love you, Bob Gunia.
Thank you.
For more information on Physicians Mutual, you can visit physiciansmutual.com.
Home and Family, weekday mornings at 10 on Hallmark Channel, the heart of TV.